So this is the outsourcing and scaling show. I want to talk a little bit about hiring. When I met you on the rooftop, you were like, you know what, I'm ready. I got to start delegating. But if I want to scale this thing, I was like, hey, I'll give you some free hours. I know you've kind of gone through the VA process for the first time. Talk to me about that, because I feel like just the mentality that you have to delegate is something that not a lot of entrepreneurs get to or really realize or take control of.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm in a really unique scenario in the sense that like with all the health stuff going on and with the type of lifestyle that I'm trying to create, I just came to the realization that like my new definition of business is you don't have a business if it doesn't make money when you're not there.
Right.
Right. So I have just been going through this paradigm shift of like letting go of everything. Like I'm really on a mission to actually eliminate all my work. Like I'm on a mission to only work an hour a week. So my decision to start hiring people is like, okay, if I'm truly committed to only working 1 hour a week, then some things need to change. Number one, I need to start systematizing everything, and I need to start tracking everything. I need to start documenting everything, and I need to start making training so that I can bring someone on to take on this position. And it started off with me hiring someone to map out all my systems. So now I have everything is like, it's so clean. But like anytime I have a sales funnel, someone fills out an application through Schedule Once, that goes to Asana, that goes to a custom CRM that's built in Asana, who it automatically gets assigned to someone. In the future, it will be a salesperson. And then once that person gets sold, they get tagged in an operations thing inside of Asana, which gives a drop-down menu with a checklist with every single step of the project management laid out with all the resources, all the documents, every single piece of the business and steps that need to be taken in order to move the client down the process of our fulfillment is all laid out. Then, like, once that I built that out, I was like, okay, this is great. I have the systems, but I was still doing all the work. I was so overwhelmed. I'm like, now I need to hire someone to work the system, right? So the first step is to map everything out. Then the second step is to put someone in to run through it to see if it actually functions and works when you're not doing it. And then with the feedback of that person, you can refine it and get it better and better and better to the point where someone else can do it without you. And the first step for me was like, okay, I need to just get the basic level stuff that I hate off my plate so that I can start focusing on the higher level stuff that's going to move the needle forward towards getting to this 1 hour a week work week, right? And so the first step is like, for me, it was like admin, social media, project management, all the back end stuff that really doesn't fit my personality type, which is front end, like sales, marketing, client management, and like the actual like strategy of the actual fulfillment. So admin was first thing. I met with you, Nathan. You said, yo, I got this thing. You can hire someone. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. This is scary for me, but I'm going to do it anyway because I know it's necessary. It's going to be painful. No, it's not going to be perfect, but I got to get her in there. And so, yeah, I went on FreeUp. I hired this kick-ass VA named Orv, who just like, I sent all my applicants a test to basically make me like a daily brief for all my KPIs, all my messages, I would consider it like the pulse page of my business, all the key metrics that are important for me to keep an eye on. And she just like blew it out of the park with like the level of detail that she went to. And I was like, okay, she's got this level of detail and this level of like admin skills, then this is the one. I chose her, and now I've been training her on how to build standard operating procedures from a Loom video that I make, which is just a software where I record videos to make a training. So now anytime I'm doing something during my day-to-day work, I'm recording it on Loom as a training video, and then I'm archiving it, and then I'm going to send it to her where she can then write out a standard operating procedure for it, and then she can put it in what's called a playbook. A playbook is like a master spreadsheet that houses all your documents, all your resources, and anything that anyone on your team could ever need is all in one place. And it's like, it's crazy integrated. It sounds complex, but it's amazing. And that's where I'm at right now is I've gotten to the point where I can send her a Loom video. She can write a procedure that's so detailed that someone who's not in my company, who doesn't even know how to do any of the technical stuff, if they could come in and we'll go through this procedure and they could actually execute the procedure themselves without any prior knowledge, training, or experience. And that's the level of detail that I'm going to. And that's what my assistant is helping me do. And then once those are mapped out for all the stages of my business, then you hire an editor, then you hire an assistant videographer, then you hire a project manager, and then it's boom, it's done.
I love it. What have you learned just from working with a VA in the first time? I'm assuming that's the first time you worked with a Filipino VA. Were there any lessons along the way?
Yeah, like over communicate is the first thing that comes to mind. Like definitely over communicate, double check and confirm that they understand like what you're asking of them. Make sure that they're set up for success. So like when I first hired mine, it forced me to put a lot of stuff in place. And I don't think that's the best practice. I think you should have some stuff in place, have a plan to how to onboard them, set expectations really well from the beginning. Let them know like when you want them to be available, when you won't need them to be available, and just be really clear about what the outcomes are that you're looking for and how you want to develop the working relationship. I would say the biggest lesson is really taking the time to understand yourself and understanding what are your needs that may be totally unrealistic. And also like, what are the things that you just like are inside your head that aren't actually out there on paper that you do without even thinking about it, but would need really, really, really proper explanation for someone to understand. I call it the emotional story selling. And it's basically like this hero's journey of the entrepreneur. And it's them telling their why and articulating